For years, a seasoned skipper stared down the fiercest tempests the northern waters could unleash. He ruled the swells like a king, guiding his vessel and teamed through freezing gales and unrelenting turmoil. Yet the real tempest that blindsided him raged from within. This warrior of the deep, who tamed every beast the ocean hurled his way, now faced an invisible foe that would test him like nothing before. This hidden storm pushed him toward a decision that would reshape his world and the high-stakes fishing saga forever. But this tale doesn't kick off amid the heaving, frost-covered platforms of his ship. It starts in a place far more hushed, chilling, and daunting. Toward the close of one grueling fishing cycle, the focus shifted from Alaska's perilous seas to the stark, echoing corridors of a cancer clinic. The steady beep of machines drowned out the familiar roar of breakers and crew calls. For those accustomed to seeing him in total command, this shift hit hard. He wasn't the unbreakable leader anymore. He was just a guy, sitting in silence, bracing for results that could shatter it all. The air grew heavy, denser than any mist rolling over the waves. Then the physician laid it out flat. "You've got prostate cancer, and we need to act fast." It wasn't a mild case. The disease was fierce, demanding immediate action. No room for delay. For someone whose days revolved around tides and hauls, his fate now rested with healers and therapies. The vast ocean had always been his ultimate adversary, but this tiny invader threatened to succeed where the sea had failed. How does a fighter who's never flinched respond to a blow like that? His gut reaction wasn't panic, it was pure rebellion. Right after the news sank in, he vowed, "I'm not quitting the water. I'll push on until my body gives out." He saw how some folks crumble under such weight, retreating inward, and he figured that only speeds the downfall. He wouldn't let this thing rewrite who he was or sink his livelihood. The rugged spirit forged through endless trials, and perils refused to yield. He chose to wage war on his own ground, heading back to the spot where he thrived most, the heart of those unforgiving northern seas. This wasn't just about survival. It was about clinging to the essence he'd carved out over a lifetime. Venturing into those brutal waters while kicking off intense treatment? It's a call most would dodge. He owned up that docs eyed him like he'd gone mad when he mentioned fishing amid the regiment. The realm of healing, all about calm and routine, clashed head-on with crabbing's grind-endless toil, cut off from any quick aid. Still, he stood firm. He braced for the rough path ahead, admitting the coming months would be pure hell. Diving into the planet's toughest gig while his strength ebbed? A high-risk bet that would drain every bit of his grit. The therapy hit like an unseen assault. He opened up online about the ordeal. Tiny radioactive implants zeroing in on the threat, paired with drugs to halt its advance. But those meds exacted a steep toll. They tanked his drive to almost nothing, sapping the fire that fueled him. For any guy, it's a gut punch, but for a leader whose world demands raw power, crushing. The drain hit quick. He felt wiped out, hollowed. This towering force, larger than life, was fading from within. He poured out a raw truth to his circle. "I've always punched above my years, staying sharp around a young team. Now it feels like time's finally caught me." The cure saving him was also robbing the spark that made him him. Yet amid the ache and weariness, a deeper drive emerged. He saw his fight could mean more than personal triumph. He let the lenses track his whole path, from clinic chairs to ship decks. "It's odd bearing this to the world," he confessed. "But if showing the ride nudges even a few to check themselves, it's worth it." This guarded, tough guy bared his soul to crowds, turning private pain into a wake-up call, aiming to spare others the same shadow. His aim boiled down to this: if I spare one life out there, that's real impact. The skipper who tallied wins and tons of catch now chased something bigger lives touched. Awareness sparked. He evolved from a hardened mariner, to a quiet champion for health. If this story touches your heart, please share it. To grasp why he clung so tight to the waves, dig into the roots of the man. His path to the helm was a slog. Raised in a steel town spot near Pittsburgh, he finished school in '75 and enlisted in the Navy, catching his first whiff of salt air. Post-service, the lure of fat payouts in Alaska's crab boom drew him north. Back then, no spotlights captured the chaos. 2 decades grinding from raw rookie to top dog built through sweat and steel nerves. The ocean pulsed in his veins. He'd poured his grown years into it, earning stripes as an elite hand in the pack. His rig wasn't mere work, it crowned a saga of grit and loss. His handle, wild, wasn't showbiz flair. It stuck from school days, born of reckless dares like leaping between speeding rides or plunging under frozen pools. As years stacked, it morphed into a badge of raw edge in the wild northern frontier. A pier skipper spun a yarn of his fire. When his team sparked a vicious scrap ashore, landing folks in beds, the port nearly barred his craft a killer blow. He rolled in armed, blasted shots to hush the crowd, lined them up, and smashed knuckles of the guilty with his stock, axing them cold. It was frontier justice, raw rule in anarchy. That's the respect he commanded, skill laced with steel. Before fame hit, he'd logged a full odyssey at sea. By mid-2000s, after endless Alaskan hammers, he eased back, chasing sun in Costa Rica and Mexico with charter runs. But hard times flipped the script, leaving him pondering next moves. Meanwhile, a raw fishing docuseries exploded. He looped in with old salts, eyed the buzz, and pitched the network. In 2010, mid-run, he crashed the elite crew, injecting his sharp, no-frills vibe for masses to see. Under that armor lay a life laced with personal storms. Wed to his steadfast partner, who he hailed as his anchor through the fight, keeping him grounded amid the chaos. Father to 3 boys and a girl, his bond with his eldest son fueled on-screen sparks. Absent much of the kid's youth, lost to waves, he later hauled him aboard as a newbie, aiming to mend fences. But clashes flared. He rode the boy hard, jabbing at traits, echoing his mom's saga, low blow given the gaps. Tensions peaked when the son jumped ship to a competitor in one cycle, then escalated as that rival snagged quotas from under him, blending blood and business feud. Even handing over reins, he often sighed at missed chances. Beyond decks and kin woes, he channeled spotlight for good. Off-seasons meant road trips to races and derbies. A vet himself, he poured heart into warrior aid groups, hosting wounded heroes on outings for a breath of freedom. He once shared how a suit pegged him as a voice that carries, and he ran with it, turning clout to change. But the deep holds endless grief. In 2020, he lost a key hand, just 33, to an overdose, a blow like losing kin. Mentoring the guy, seeing him as potential legacy, the void cut deep, layering more ache on a scarred existence. Through the next haul, eyes tracked his dual war, against raging elements and his failing frame. He drove hard, vowing to close the loop, proving he could conquer. But signals screamed vigor dipped, wear showed. Then, adrift far from shore, a doc's call shattered it. Surgery loomed days away. Skip it, and it might seal his end. His bold stand hit a reef. No more dodging truth. The crossroads. His craft or his pulse. In over 40 years, he'd never bailed midstream. "I've always seen it through," he told his team. "Never cut and run." Breaking the news ranks as a gut-wrench peak. Voice thick, he rallied them, then passed the wheel to his solid second. "No better soul to trust with her," he said. It wasn't flight, it was command, securing his realm before stepping off. He traded decades' rhythm not in loss, but to claim a fresh front. his tomorrow.post-departure. Zeroed on healing, the update dropped online. Thrilled to report. Levels look solid. And the clincher, cancer's grip loosened. He stood clear. Waves of relief crashed through his supporters. The untamed force had stared down his fiercest storm and prevailed. But he leveled. The clash scarred. After defying age forever, the ordeal aged him fast. A trade-off for breath, he mused, docked with wellness climbing. Whispers swirled. When's the comeback? The reveal stunned. Pre-next round, word came he'd sit it out. After a decade plus, his chapter closed. No deep dive on why, but health trumped all. The vow to fish till the end? He'd hit that line. His exit sealed a chapter for the Chronicle. Last of the raw pioneers, a rebel from pre-fame days. Not a downer close, but a earned pivot reclaiming what the waves took. This skipper's arc screams unyielding might, on swells and ashore. A bold commander who earned awe from mates and masses. Yet his last leg unveiled deeper fortitude. Daring to bear weakness, smarts to seek aid, guts to pick existence over grind. He bid adieu to the saga, but his mark as battler, guide, and spark endures. His ultimate sail wasn't hauling bounty, it was snagging life's redo. And that's his crowning win. If this tale moves you, hit like, subscribe, and pass it on. Let's spread the fight.